Welcome everyone to another episode of C2C. Our chief today, Chief Revenue Officer of Zoom, Mr. Ryan Azus. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited and glad to be here.
You know, it's fantastic to have you. So you've been a friend of the channel for a long time. You're currently at Zoom on this real juggernaut that's getting so much publicity, so much market share capture. Tell us, what has it been like running the revenue organization for Zoom during these challenging and heavy growing times?
Yeah. In a word, probably crazy. We announced earnings a week ago and we had almost 355% growth on just over $650 million in the quarter. So pretty crazy results. But behind all those numbers, our company is doing work in a work from home or a hybrid environment, kids attending virtual classes, helping people through telemedicine, all the way to enabling things like yoga classes, social connections, and even happy hours. As a company, we're honored, we're humbled just to know that we're playing a part in helping the world, stay connected in these unfortunate times.
So you brushed right past that like it's a normal thing. You said 355% growth. Is that right?
That is correct. From an annual, at just over $650 million. So Zoom was already a fast growing company, and this was already a big opportunity, but the market's just bigger at the end of the day for all of us.
Absolutely. We're living online, we're living in this format, and you guys are enabling that. So Ryan, you've overseen the revenue organization within Zoom, pre-COVID fast growth, and then hyper growth. What sort of insights do you have that you could share with leaders in the channel, whether other suppliers or partners that are running good-sized organizations?
Yeah, great question. First off, sell a great product and service. And, if the partners work with Zoom, you can hopefully check that box. But like anything, it's about hiring great people. Get really good people and talent, and then give them guidance, but also give them space to get their job done. And making sure you kind of help find that balance in what's happening there. I would say, especially in today's virtual environment, making sure you stay close to your teams. Always be communicating. Finding creative ways, because quite often, depending on the type of role and the type of teams you're leading, you could reach across the hall or walk by somebody's desk, and of course we can't do that today. And so you also have to adjust and change. Think about how things were done before, and in the current environment, what are the best ways to get those done.
Got it. So sounds like hiring great people, but also I think in so many words you're saying be a good leader. You're too humble to say that, but I think that's exactly what we're saying is be a great leader. So, and you don't have to comment on that. That's okay. I'm bragging for you.
Thank you.
Let's move over to the Master Agent channel. So you launched this channel in March, at a time when all sorts of growth you were already experiencing. Then you launched the Master Agent channel that wasn't anticipated to be launched in this environment. It just so happened it was. What sort of things have you learned from that?
Yeah, great. I was fairly familiar with this channel from my past life before I joined Zoom. So I can't say there's just one big surprise. You're right on. It was roughly 6 months ago. We're supposed to be launching this at Channel Partners in Las Vegas, which was kind of the beginning, at least in the US, the beginning of some of this COVID, where we were kind of more on a lockdown, events were getting canceled. What I would say is, building a successful program takes a lot of focus, and it touches many areas. First, like we talked about earlier, you have to have a product that customers love and want, and I do feel we check that box pretty well. Relationships in this channel and trust are paramount, and so that's something. It's not like you earn it every day, and you have to continue to do that. Follow up on what you're going to do, say what you're going to do, and then actually follow up and deliver. Partners in general, from my experience, they want friction removed from the process, and we're doing a lot of work there on our side to really, around the deal registration process, around just overall operational excellence. And then from my experience, partners want to get paid. And, we are excited about a new spiff that we just rolled out for the second half of the year. And, the key message I'd say is we're really serious about this channel. It's extremely powerful, extremely relevant, and especially in UCaaS, it's amazing the relationships that this channel has and how do we all work together to bring great products to end customers, but also win together at the end of the day. And we do appreciate, of course, the relationship with Telarus as part of that process.
And we do as well. It's been a phenomenal relationship, and we look forward to many years of growth with you. So, what a lot of partners want to know is where are the sweet spots? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's increased opportunity for everybody. But let's talk verticals. What verticals are you seeing that are hot right now, and is that a change since COVID?
Yeah. We're seeing some decent results across the board, but there's definitely some places that jump out. Education would be one. Healthcare would be another. Financial services, especially in the large financial enterprise. Government, state and local, and also federal through our FedRAMP offering. If I think about what changed the most, it would really probably be two. One is in healthcare, where telemedicine, just based on the need that was driven, plus certain laws that were set about doing medicine cross state lines and other things like that changed. And so saw a pretty material increase in telemedicine that was getting done, and practitioner care items, things like that. And then in education, we've always seen success in education, but our education teams don't have time to breathe. They are as busy as can be. And especially, we've always seen it in university, but of course now seeing it more in K-12 based on the current situation. And these and other verticals are kind of a core focus area for us. I definitely believe in verticalization, and we're making major investments at Zoom. And that's around having product managers, product marketers, aligned sales teams that are dedicated. So not just sales, but you also need, you're going to gather requirements from your customer. Well, great. What do you do with those requirements? And what does it look behind? How do we make sure you optimize product and integrations and other things to really make sure you're meeting the needs and exceeding them, hopefully, for those types of customers?
Got it. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. And I was going to just say, as we look forward, one of the things I'm even thinking about now, and if you have ideas, is how do we add that into our channel? I do know, lots of partners, depending on their size. Some definitely specialize in their segment, their cities. Some are specialized in specific verticals. And quite often even from my end, we'll have, regional channel managers. We'll have, folks that manage relationships like yourselves. But now we're starting to think, okay, what about verticalization? What does that mean? And how do we add some of that specialization in the channel, specifically within those teams? And that's kind of our next frontier, what we're trying to brainstorm through right now.
Interesting. So, tell me about that. So you talked about telemedicine, which is really interesting to me. I thought those are very specialized applications, but you're saying Zoom can participate in telemedicine. Are there certain features and functionality you have that are specific to telemedicine?
Yeah, there are a variety of things there, and there are a lot of specialized offerings. And what we're doing and what we're seeing is those offerings are not necessarily have the robustness of Zoom to begin with, the ease of use, and honestly the familiarity. If you think about the end patient, being able to either join a meeting or go through a situation with something they're familiar with, well, they're comfortable and they're familiar with Zoom, and so we're seeing great. An example would be integration into Epic would be an example. Right into medical records, being able to have a seamless integration. There's a lot of APIs that are very popular right now that are how do we do a seamless work? And we do work with quite a few hospitals, things like the Mayo Clinic, are customers of Zoom and very active in these use cases.
So you're saying that there's verticalized products like this that you're trying to bring to the channel?
There are. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's really about our core offering and our product. And then there's functionality that's verticalized, like HIPAA, of course. I should have mentioned that, being HIPAA enabled. But without a doubt, and a lot of it comes in even in the integrations and the APIs. So it's not always like, oh, that's a completely different product. How does that work? Yeah. It's actually a very similar product, but think about the wrapping of what other systems does it integrate into? How does it work? And how does it provide a more seamless environment for, of course, the practitioner, but also importantly for the end customer that wants to come right in there?
Great. So for a complete list of verticals that a partner could participate in, I'm assuming we talk to our channel manager, get the information there?
100%. And just to make sure it comes across, we see success horizontally, throughout different, but there's definitely some of these ones that I'm talking about where there's definitely been an uptick during this period.
Great. All right, so let's talk competition right now. We hear teams all the time. You hear people are activating teams, they've already got a nascent license, they're starting to utilize it. How do you respond to that? What's your strategy there?
Yeah, a couple different things. I mean, you definitely hear about it, right? Microsoft has a large market share. Teams is essentially included in what customers have. So do they have it? Well, not all of them do, but if they have Microsoft, E3, E5, or some of the different verticals, they have licenses. So from our point of view, first off, we have a full UCaaS suite of products that we love customers to use end to end, but we also believe in delivering happiness and really letting customers work the way they want to. So it does come down to customer choice. And for some, that's Zoom end to end throughout, use it as a platform throughout their enterprise. But we also see lots of success coexisting, where Zoom's used for like real-time collaboration and Teams is used for other functions, mainly like chat or group messaging. And we'll see that. I'll see that in the Fortune 1000 quite often, where there'll be a really large Teams deployment, but we'll also have a really equally large Zoom deployment, and the customers are finding success and using the products and services as they see fit for best of breed, but then also leveraging our integrations, and whether that be things like integrations into Teams or Office 365 or Presence or SharePoint, really, again, but not just with Microsoft, maybe it's Google, maybe it's Slack, whatever customers really want to use, we're here to support that and offer the best of ability in our own products. But again, more importantly, in today's world is how do we work with the other products and systems that they have.
Okay, so Ryan, let's switch over to competition now. Teams, we're hearing quite a bit about it. It comes native in Office 365. What's your strategy for competing with Teams?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first off, we have a full UCaaS suite of products that we would love for customers to use end to end, and quite often that's what they do. At the same time, we also believe in delivering happiness, and that's by letting customers work the way they want to, and also offering customer choice. And for some customers, like I said, that's end to end in Zoom, complete platform, and for others, that's coexisting, where Zoom's used, for real-time collaboration, and Teams is used for other functions. Mainly what I see there is really in chat or group messaging, and we have lots of companies where we're seeing that. Sometimes, quite often, even in the Fortune 1000. Well, of course, they have Microsoft or they have licenses, so they have Teams, but they're still adding and deploying Zoom, and they really love us for our ease of use, our simplicity, the quality of our product and service. But they also love us for the integrations, into Office 365, in the Teams, in the chat, with Presence, into SharePoint, and then not just Teams, but maybe it's Google, maybe it's Slack. And so, for us, it's really about the customer choice. And then, how do we leverage and integrate into the other services, whatever those might be, that they choose to use.
Okay, so the approach is not we want to kick them out of the client. It is we can play nice in the sandbox with anybody. If that's the way the customer wants to play, then we can fit right in.
Yeah, we're more than happy to coexist with the customer, really understand their needs, and understand and define those use cases.
Got it. All right. Well, Ryan, that's about all the time we have today. Any final comments for our partners?
Yeah, in closing, I just want to say thank you, to yourself, Adam, to Telarus, but to all the partners out there. We know it's not easy, and we know you work hard, and we really appreciate your business, and we really appreciate the partnership. For Zoom, we talked about delivering happiness, and that's for end customers, but that's actually for partners too. And we're here to look at this as a long-term relationship to make sure it grows. The other thing I'd say is for education, for some entertainment, we have Zoomtopia coming up, and that's our annual user conference. It's October 14th and 15th. It's 100% virtual, and it's also free, of course. And so we would love to have you join us there to learn more. And of course, even better, bring your end customers. That's
all right. There you go, October 14th and 15th. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Everybody, thank you for taking time to watch the full interview with Mr. Ryan Azus, CRO of Zoom. Thanks for your partnership. Take care and have a great week.